Now what we're doing in questions 5 and 6, which is where the homework helper concludes here today, is we're going to graph the rotation around the origin. Now, taking a look at question number 5, as you can see there's a rectangle laid on top of the coordinate grid there, and the directions say to turn it 90 degrees clockwise. Well, we can handle that. I'm going to do a little bit of an illustration here with a box of colored pencils. Alright, now a 90-degree turn, as we know, is a quarter of a full revolution. If I did a full revolution, the box would look exactly like this when it was done. Alright, I'm just going to do a quarter of a revolution, which means I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Remember, 90 degrees is going to make an L shape, so that's going to go like this, and now I have a 90-degree turn. Now the reason I've shown you that is because, of course, in question number 5, it's a rectangle, and that's exactly what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to turn it 90 degrees and clockwise. So it's going to move the exact same way that my box of colored pencils did here. If it would have said counterclockwise, of course, we would have still turned it 90 degrees, but we would have tipped it to the left. Now, as far as the rotation here, the points are going to maintain their aspect ratio as it relates to the origin, point 0. For instance, point M here, all right, as it's drawn right now, well, point M is 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps to the left and 2 up. Now remember, I'm going to take that shape, this L shape that I just drew, that represents the jumps there, all right, and I'm going to turn it 90 degrees because the shape is turning 90 degrees. So that L now is going to be like this. Well, we just said it was 4 to the left and 2 up. Well, as you can see, as I turn the shape, now it's going to be 4 up and 2 to the right. So I'm going to take and go 4 up and 2 to the right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And there's my first point of the new rectangle. Now, let's go ahead and go back to this original here, and I'm going to erase that line I just drew because otherwise this is going to get really confusing really quick. Get rid of the black line. Okay, the red line represents where my new rectangle is, so I don't want to cover it up. All right, let's go ahead and look at point J. Well, point J from the origin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps to the left and 2 up. So it's got this same shape as what I just drew here. Instead of being 4, though, it's 6. So again, it's going to turn just like this one we showed, and it's now going to be 6 up and 2 to the right. So if I go ahead and go 6 up and 2 to the right now from the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you can see it overlaps where I've already gone, and then 2 to the right, and there's now the bottom of my new rectangle. Now, of course, with this is rectangle, this is pretty easy because my rectangle still has to have all the same attributes. It was 4 tall, 4 units tall, that is, as you can see. So when I flip it to the right, now it's going to be 4 units across. So I don't need to keep actually doing the computation, the calculation like I've been showing. Again, we know its size, so I'm now going to draw going 4 across and then finish off the rectangle the way the rectangle would there with a line, and there is your 90 degrees clockwise rotated rectangle, the image.